welcome back to another episode of Steaming Pie with Lauren and Tucker. I am Lauren.
And I'm Tucker.
And Tucker, if you could, let's say it's like a yesterday situation, I'll rephrase, where some popular form of media just does not exist in the world, but you remember what it was. For context, in the film Yesterday, the main character is the only one who remembers the Beatles. Everyone else has forgotten the Beatles, so he starts writing it to take credit for it. What property would you like to just erase whoever was in charge and take credit for? Which work do you think, if it were removed from the world, could you also take credit for and recreate?
Well, first off, thank you very much for clarifying Yesterday the movie, not Yesterday the relative time. I'm like, Yesterday.
No,
okay.
this happened Sunday.
Oh no. That's a great question. There are a lot of things that are like, wow, I wish I had done that. I know it's not terribly interesting, but I have no idea. This is a tough question. Do you have an answer? Have you thought about this?
I have thought about it. There are a couple of options that I think would be really fun. One, I think it would be wild to have been, like, this is one that I would say, but I don't think I could do, is the Wiggles. To be responsible for like a children's franchise that still has touring power today. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. But I could not have made the Wiggles. If it were one that like I had seen enough and could recreate. Ooh. Napoleon Dynamite. I think I could be responsible for Napoleon Dynamite.
That is an interesting answer. I guess there are really two approaches you could take to this. One, do you want something that is very cloutful, or do you want something that will get you a lot of money? Right? So
yeah.
I mean, so right? I feel like doing Napoleon Dynamite, that's cloutful, right? It didn't make a lot of money.
But it made more than it cost to make.
Well, yes, and that's always good.
Yeah.
But it's not like, I don't know. It's a very one-off, right? Mm-hmm. Like the whole premise of the Beatles movie was that it was, you know, people will still listen to the Beatles, right? Yeah. Even if they had never existed. Would Napoleon Dynamite have been made if Napoleon Dynamite wasn't made? And would it have been as culturally successful as the Beatles?
I don't know, because it's harder to pinpoint like the influences or the things that have been influenced by Napoleon Dynamite, because like the Beatles, every band after 1964 was like, yeah, we listen to the Beatles and that's why we play music. Mm-hmm. But I haven't encountered like a director who was like, I saw Napoleon Dynamite and that was it, man. I had to, like, I don't think Noah Baumbach was like, man, what those two guys made. Mm-hmm. That's pretty great. I have to do that myself.
Yeah. Okay, so from the clout angle, you'd go Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
Okay. From the clout angle, I'd probably do something like, I don't know, something that, that's like considered to be high art, maybe not like high art, but
yeah.
What am I thinking of? So There Will Be Blood, for example.
Ooh,
right? If I was the director of There Will Be Blood,
yeah.
First off, if I had to do that from memory, it would not be the same movie. But if right, I feel like it would be easier with songs, right? I could probably do Bo Burnham's Inside from memory.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Right, that would be great for clout, but it wouldn't make a lot of money. If I wanted to make a lot of money, I would industry plant a Taylor Swift and just redo all that.
Yeah,
kind of like what she's doing to herself now. But it is, I think that would. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And the decision to industry plant it is very tricky. I like that.
Well, I can't. I couldn't pull it off myself.
Well, you don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah, the reason for the teardrops on my guitar, I don't know that I would be able to pull that off with the same kind of emotional efficacy. But yeah, and then kind of, but that would be very interesting if it was someone different. All else being equal, if it was someone different, would a fake Taylor Swift's fan base still be able to defeat ISIS? Like, would is it her? Is it her music? Is it the combination? And what balances it?
I think music just makes. I think music just makes people go feral. You know.
Mm.
I was watching a documentary about the Hillsong Church, which is just like a mega church corporation type deal. But they talk about how they were like revolutionary in the whole Christian music circuit. Their stuff is still sung today. But the big part of it was they could like elicit all of this emotion in the like congregation. But it wasn't necessarily because like the words meant anything. It was because they specifically chose chord progressions that would elicit emotions.
Interesting.
And so I think her music is good enough that you could give it to someone else.
I mean, I suppose. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, maybe, yeah, because there are some good ones. Oh, I mean, some of them are pretty bland, generic, but a lot of them are pretty good on their own merit. Maybe not musically, but I think with her it'd be more lyrically.
I thought Folklore had decent enough lyrics. I thought it's to me, and I'm sure there are people who would be scandalized that I would make this comparison. She's kind of like Bob Dylan to me, where I don't necessarily like to hear her sing, but I recognize that what she's doing from a lyric standpoint is impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe true. I mean, she's certainly not as bad as Bob Dylan.
No,
where did he go wrong?
Stretch.
Well, he's incomprehensible at this point.
Oh yeah, at this point for sure.
But he was always on, some level of incomprehensible, right? Like you could understand him, but you had to like concentrate, even on his like early records.
Yeah.
And then as he kept going, he became a caricature of that.
It's like, that's always fascinating of like how fast the authenticity to self-parody pipeline is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't think Taylor Swift has gotten to that point. She's not self-parodying.
She got close.
When?
I think Look What You Made Me Do is borderline, if not full-on self-parody. That music video hurts to watch.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, there are some skips, there are some misses. And I think even I would hope the crazy Swifties would agree that song is not. And there are a handful of others. I mean, you can't win them all. You can win them most, but you can't win them all, right?
You can win a lot, but for every what is it? All Too Well. For every All Too Well, there's a me, capital M, capital E, exclamation point.
Yeah.
I hate that she edited out "Hey guys," spelling is fun. Because there's something like it's embarrassing, and I get that it's embarrassing.
A little cringe, yeah.
But you need that. That's how I know you cared and you were invested. You take that out, and it feels more corporate sellout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, like it didn't matter how it made you look. You were going to say it. Say it loud and proud.
It feels like with that line still included, it has the feeling of like the big closing number of a musical that is intended for children.
It's not that.
No.
And it's kind of, I mean, somewhat impressive that she hasn't completely sold out at this point. I mean, I guess she doesn't need to.
No.
There was the most recent re-recording she did. I know she edited out some like things that could possibly be construed as slut shaming, and it's like,
oh yeah, where the like you're only remembered for the things you do on the mattress or something
like that. Yeah. And it's like, okay, you sold out a little bit, but all right, that's fine. I'll accept it this once.
It's because those songs were from when she was like half her age,
probably,
or something.
Yeah.
I could understand looking at the things I wrote when I was 15 and being like, oh, we're editing that.
Oh yeah, no
one's seeing this version again.
Burn it. Yeah, that's yep, definitely, for sure. Yeah, I'll even say that about things I've written yesterday. And it's like, just smoke it. That's yeah. But yeah, it's rather impressive that so deep into her career, and maybe she just hasn't had time to, hasn't really sold out. And I don't think anyone can genuinely say that she's an industry plant. I don't understand why people like hate her.
It does take a lot of energy, I think, to like full on hate her, because there are definitely things that I think there are maybe valid criticisms for, but at the same time it just seems like a lot of energy. I've never hated her. There's not really a group from a music standpoint that I'm like, oh, I hate them, I'm gonna follow their career specifically to be a hater. There are authors I follow that I feel that way, but not a music group, and certainly not Taylor Swift.
What was that band? It was 3 girls. They were 100% industry plant.
The
I don't remember their name.
Stamps?
That's the one. Yeah.
Hey.
What happened to them?
I think it just like...
Were they bullied off?
There's so many, kind of. There were a couple of videos that kind of like followed that whole thing, because as soon as they like hit the scene, like Tumblr sniffed them out immediately. Just commenting bug ass on everything. And it bullied them off, because the lyrics, they were like, this is so written by someone who is not involved in this scene, and the lyrics that they were singing didn't jive with the image they were presenting, and they had this lore that didn't match with when like established timelines were happening. Like they said, oh, we've known each other for X number of years, and it's like, actually you all met like 2 months ago. And yeah, I think one of them for sure is still making music on their own, and from what I understand, it's not bad. But the big mistake that they made was trying to be a punk band.
That's a hard one to break into.
If they had just tried to be like a feminist pop group, I don't think people would have cared as much.
I agree.
But punks do not tolerate artifice, especially when used to masquerade as punks. So yeah, they got bug-assed off the internet.
Yeah, the first 3 words of their Wikipedia article is "tramp stamps was." So yeah, they were. It says they're still active, but it says was.
Oh.
Since all 3 members have worked in the music industry. Yeah. This isn't very clear on what happened to them, but yeah, it looks like was. That's fine.
Yeah. I think Strange Eons has like a good video documenting the history and downfall, and I think Sarah Zed might also have that. But yeah. I think the fact that they all 3 had jewel-toned hair immediately set off people's like
they're all
alarms, because they're like, this is a parody.
I'm the rebel, and I'm the rebel, and I'm the rebel.
I'm the rebel. Like, really? You all don't have like the boring one?
Every band has a boring one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot all about them until just now, which I guess is probably for the best. I don't know. And I guess it's harder to sniff out an industry plant than one might think. I'm trying to think if there's been any like overt examples beyond just tramp stamps.
I mean, anytime someone is like very successful and quickly, they try to like say industry plant. I can't remember if people thought Billie Eilish was one, or if that's just... No, it wasn't her. It was someone else.
Olivia Rodriguez? She is an industry plant.
I mean,
she was on High School Musical. No, who is...
Because I can kind of look at other industries and kind of point to examples where like it just had the feeling of like the industry really pushing for it, whether or not audiences at large liked it. Like I can point to the book publishing space or even professional wrestling of like this was probably an industry plant, but I don't know enough about music, and with music it's especially hard to say, are they an industry plant or are they just rich?
Right. Yeah, because it's easy to make music. It's hard to make good music. So it's right, like it's anyone rich enough can, be in a recording studio and buy Pro Tools, right?
Yes.
Like it's super easy. The bar of entry is super low. But you need something to, kind of sort of maybe, I don't know, back that up. Auto-tune will only get you so far. unless that's your, your style. But I mean, hell, even T-Pain could sing. Man's got pipes.
T-Pain, yeah. He seems like a lot of fun. I don't follow his stuff, but periodically I'll come across things that he's done and I'm like, you're having fun here.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you should find something of his that's completely a cappella. He's got pipes.
Yeah. Didn't he end up doing The Masked Singer because people kept making fun of his voice? And I'm like, buddy, there has to be a better way than going to The Masked Singer.
Oh, he was like deeply hurt. I think it was Usher who told him. I think Usher dissed him. Yeah, and he was like emotionally crippled by that.
Oh no!
So he had something to prove, probably. T-Pain.
No. I'm like, T-Pain, just do a stint in whatever Broadway musical is about to close. And they have nothing left to lose. That's the best way to prove yourself. Go play Hades in Hadestown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's...
His voice is a little high for that, but I think it would still be cool.
It would be cool, yeah. How do I even search who this was? T-Pain. If I see T-Pain hurt, it's going to ignore the T. So... T-Pain. Auto-tune criticism. Who did this? Who was it? Usher. Yeah, okay, it was Usher.
That's such a bizarre thing.
Yeah, and
like auto-tune, everyone does use auto-tune.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so funny and bad when it's noticeable and it's not your style. Yeah. Like when you can hear the program struggling to remodulate you because you couldn't be bothered to pay for Melodyne. It's like struggling to like you can hear it stretching syllables. Someone did a real bad job at retuning you, and then you undermodulate it. So like when you sing, you have a little bit of vibrato. But sometimes your vibrato trails up or down, right? So to fix it, you kind of got to squash the entire thing. So then you have like just this flat, right? And it's, you can tell. So it's nice to be able to like, start from a good base point of on pitch.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I feel like most people trying to break into the music industry can do at this point. Like completely tone deaf individuals. I don't know if, I don't know of anyone off the top of my head who is actually a bad musician and has found some sort of success.
Yeah, and it's hard to point to people without like trying to find someone to nitpick specifically. I think there's just like musicians who are fine, but they have the resources to coast even if they're just fine.
Chance
like I was watching a
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, well, I was watching a video today of someone reviewing like TikToker music, and a lot of those, it's like, I mean, I'm never gonna listen to it, but if this swung through my top 40, I probably wouldn't notice.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot. Yeah, TikTok music is a whole sub thing on that, isn't it? Again, as we previously discussed, I'm not on TikTok. I don't go on TikTok. I wait for the good ones to make it to YouTube Shorts, because why would I install another app?
Yeah.
I already have too many of those.
Do this filtering myself. I am the chief of my own village, and I will let the hunter-gatherers bring me what I want.
Exactly.
There is no gatherer named Algorithm.
Right. I mean, it is nice to have, the cream rise to the top. Although you start, I don't know if this is the same on TikTok, but if you scroll like 25 down, it starts giving you some real crap, like some real garbage, because it's like there's no more good videos, and there are, right?
It's like I've seen the compilations. There's some good stuff.
It's trying to go ahead.
Bring me the Kenneth Kirkland man. I know he's here.
I assume it's trying out new things to see if something will pop, right?
Yeah.
The algorithm will do that. It will randomly pick things and present it to a bunch of people. This happened to a couple of my videos. It'll randomly present it to a bunch of people, and based on retention, it will either continue to or discontinue to show it to people. This is especially true of YouTube Shorts. I don't want to say exactly how I know this, but after a while, it will, once it gets enough eyes, it will start to consistently present your content in roughly the same proportion as it responded to on its peak.
Ooh, interesting.
That's been my experience with that. So it's very unfortunately, in the case of shorts, and there are some very high quality shorts out there. But there's also some real hogwash. It's like, I mean, there's the range of videos from great to bad, and then there's the range of it's perceived range, I guess, because shorts, you see so many more of them.
Yes,
so you're going to watch
many more.
So the range seems worse, even though if you went looking, right? If there's, I don't know if it still exists, but there was that website that sent you to a random YouTube video with 100 views or fewer. And it just, it was truly 100 views or fewer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is interesting, like, what ends up catching, and I can see how that would drive, like, content creators bonkers to try and, like, guess what the next thing is going to be or figure out how to game the system. And so every time I see a title or a thumbnail that I'm like, I know you're doing this to trap me, and I even want to watch this video, but I'm mad that I want to watch this video, so I'm going to open it, pause, and go to the comments to see what everyone's talking about and try to reverse engineer what you've said based on what people are talking about.
Yes. Yeah. It's the worst thing to be clickbaited into something you were already going to click.
Yeah.
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 The what was do you use sponsor block on YouTube?
I did not. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's really great because not only does it, like, skip out sponsored segments of videos.
That's slick.
It on a lot of them there's a button that will just jump you to the most viewed part, like the highlighted thing.
Yeah.
And it's crowdsourced data. So and you'll see, like with very popular content creators, like within 5 minutes of upload, this data has been published for the video. It's like people are out there doing it. Like they're, here's the sponsor, and then here's and you can also tell by the heat map that YouTube's been generating on popular videos too, which is
kind of neat.
Very helpful. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if that has, on the whole, driven down retention because it's visible where the interesting parts of the video are, or if it's driven up retention because if it doesn't happen in the first 30 seconds of the video, you can mouse over and see that it will happen at some point. You can just jump to it instead of trying to hunt and guess where the explosion is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see it helping retention. I'm not sure how clicking through the video affects retention. But I mean, yeah, if it keeps people in the video longer, maybe it helps.
Yeah, and I wonder how that translates to, because that's a good question. The algorithm is tuned to serve ads, not to serve videos or views. So I wonder how that translates into mid-rolls.
Ooh.
I don't know. I've had YouTube Premium for years, so I have no idea. But
I know that mid-rolls happen way too much. And if I come back to a video, I will usually get the pre-video ad, but then it will also give me whatever mid-roll happened immediately before where I clicked.
Oh.
So.
Lame.
Is garbo.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked the price of... I have the family plan with my family, and they... what's the word I'm looking for? I can't believe that the price of that hasn't gone up, because they're showing a lot of ads on videos now, and the revenue from Red, or it used to be called Red, I guess it's just called Premium. The revenue from Premium goes to the creator in lieu of an ad. But I guess YouTube isn't making any money off of that, so why would it increase in price? Because it's not showing ads. I don't know. That seems like they're losing money on that. But
hard
also,
to say. But at this point, that's also a selling point if they haven't raised their prices, because you have people like Max charging you more for less, and Netflix charging you more for less, and a lot of other services charging more for the same or less. The fact that YouTube's hasn't changed, not bad. Pretty good. The
what was it? I keep losing my train of thought because I think of something else. Anyway, so with these I remember what I was going to say. With YouTube Premium, you also get YouTube Music, which can be a replacement for Spotify. It's not as good as Spotify, but at least their queuing system isn't brain dead stupid. That's a whole rant that I can get into. But here's the more interesting question. So you have things like Netflix, Max, Prime. Let's not count Prime because you're going to get shipping anyway. So Netflix, Max, Disney Plus, all those guys, right? And the common wisdom with these is that it's just turning into cable again, right?
Yeah.
They were created to kind of solve the problem that cable presented. So you have cable evolved in the streaming services. What is next? Do the streaming services all buy one another?
I mean, we're kind of seeing that because Disney bought like ESPN, but then Disney Plus also has deals with Hulu.
I'm shocked someone hasn't snapped up Hulu. Hulu seems small.
Right. And I know that HBO Max and Discovery Plus combined.
Yep.
I think the thing that's preventing them from having like super PACs is the whole monopoly of it all.
Yeah, the government probably wouldn't care for that.
Yeah.
No matter how many
especially if it
Disney
were like Prime buying up. Like if Prime bought out Max, that would probably be like no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Or if Disney tried to buy like Peacock or something.
Well, I think the good news there is that no one can afford to buy Netflix, right? Amazon will never let Prime go. They can burn money in there all day long.
Yes.
And the other ones have already kind of congealed. So, but the question is there competition? There isn't overlap. So
not anymore.
They're not
used to be overlap.
Yeah, they're not competing in the same space because the space is the shows that they show. So, I mean, in
that way, it's kind of like utilities where, like, certain internet providers, at least this is the case with where we live, we really only have like one choice for good internet here, because this area is covered by one internet provider. But if you go like another county over, a different internet provider is kind of like chief among that area. So I think it's kind of like that with streaming, where it's like, oh, we will handle the titty shows and you will handle the kitty shows, and they will not overlap.
Interesting. Yeah. Oh, something to think about it. I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know if it's like inherently evil, but it is something to think about. It's a head scratcher. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you rotate between yours? Or do you have all of them at once?
That's a good question. So the only streaming service I subscribe to is YouTube Music. My girlfriend has Netflix, I have Amazon Prime too, I guess, and I've watched a couple things on Amazon Prime. She has Netflix that she shares with her family, and I think her brother has Disney Plus that she gets access to. And I've used the ESPN Plus off of that once or twice. So I guess technically rotating a little bit, but I can't imagine having all of them, and I certainly can't imagine. Right, like it. And unfortunately, and this is really calling something out of left field here. Maybe cable is the solution to the mess that they've made out of it, because if you have 5 streaming services that cover 100% of the media you want to watch, or you have one cable package or 2 cable packages, right?
Yeah.
That cover 80% of what you want to watch. I think if they could get right, because you have these channels, kind of like how Pluto TV works.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
have if you have channels, if you can control the advertising a little bit, if you could like calm down on that a little bit, because there are a lot of ads on televised television. If you could calm down on that, I think it might become a more attractive kind of substitute for the mess that the streaming services have made for themselves. Because you get and people don't realize how much content you're getting. It might not be good, but how much content you're getting.
There's a lot.
Yeah. And then with the DVR, you are your own streaming service. You just record it straight off of the thing. Commercials are still a problem, but I mean,
But you can skip through those on DVR.
you can fast forward. It's a little annoying, but you can fast forward through them.
It feels simpler.
Yes and no, because now you don't have access to an entire season at once. Your storage is finite in some cases. I know YouTube TV has infinite DVR, but in the case of like actual, like say Xfinity, for example, you have they usually get shipped with 2 terabyte drives. So your storage is finite.
Yeah.
It gets recorded in full quality. So, but is that so different? Having to delete the last season of a show you've already watched, is that so different from Netflix just deleting things randomly? At least you have a little bit of control over it. You just have to be a little more, you have to, budget it a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't have access to, until the entire thing has elapsed, you don't have access to the entire show. But
yeah, it's hard to say.
Could Netflix... That's fascinating. Could Netflix have a DVR of some kind? So you have a Netflix box.
Yeah.
You say what shows you want, and it downloads it to your box, but you don't get to stream anything. It's just whatever on your box, and then you have to trade it out. Fuck, I'm describing a library. Oh no, I'm describing a library.
You're describing what Netflix used to be.
Oh
Hi,
no.
Can I get a season of Carnival? And I'll watch the season of Carnival and then swap it for the next season of Carnival.
Right. Okay, never mind. I'm just describing a library. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah. Man. Does it seem to you Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I wouldn't be surprised because a lot of shows, they did the binge model where they would drop the entire season in a day. And I know that other streaming services, namely HBO, they went to weekly episodes again. I wouldn't be surprised if they went... I mean, to some extent, they still go to time-boxed things where it's this episode will drop in the evening. I know that that's how it works for The Righteous Gemstones, where it premieres Sundays at 9. So I wonder if Netflix will start to go to that model, because I think right now it drops at midnight.
It's also really unfortunate that a good hunk of these shows don't get physical releases.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because once they're removed, they're basically gone forever. And it's that seems silly if you if you lose the rights to stream it because of some contractual nonsense, which again I don't understand. If Netflix produced it anyway, it's artificial, sure, but there's still money to be made in Blu-ray releases. Not a lot, but I guess if you do that, you are no longer artificially creating urgency to sign up for the streaming service.
Correct.
Watch it before it leaves, because it's usually there for a long time, but it can go whenever.
I think you just do limited releases. Like, if you told me that tomorrow Netflix was releasing all 5 seasons of Cobra Kai on Blu-ray, and I had until Thursday to buy a copy, I would.
That would produce the same kind of artificial urgency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something to think about. They still make physical copies of movies. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, not the ones made by Netflix, but yeah.
They put Dark on 18. If they put Dark on DVD, I'm getting it. They put $18.99 on DVD. I don't care if that series didn't get finished. I would still get it, especially if it came with all of the bonus features stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Netflix, if you're watching, it's not a bad idea. Might not be a great idea, but it's something to try, you know?
And that's because they're so cagey with like how many people watch things. It's like, here are good metrics. Here's who's watching and cares enough to get the copies.
Yeah. And also, if you're like, if you're always making more content, you're always making more things, right?
Yeah.
So you want to kind of, if you want to retire a show, if you want to remove it from your streaming service, then you can, right? Like if no one's watching it streaming wise because you're no longer promoting
going out of business,
just hork it off onto a DVD so people still pay you for the stuff, right? You want people to pay to watch it, well then let them watch it. Anyway, Netflix. I'm just saying.
Yeah. There's enough demand to demand.
Yeah.
No. But speaking of TV, I had seen this thing. I don't know if it was. I can't remember how it was confirmed or where. But allegedly, when NBC was making The Office, they offered the role of Michael Scott to James Gandolfini, and HBO paid him $3 million to say no.
Did The Office come out at the same time as... It had to have been the back half of The Sopranos?
Yeah, back half of The Sopranos. I have never wanted to see a pilot more.
Let's see if this is true. I want this so badly to be true.
I know.
The Office,
oh my gosh.
Gandolfini.
I think that would have been...
It's in the New York Post,
amazing.
So...
Oh, okay.
IndieWire... People, BJ Novak tried to convince James Gandolfini to join The Office after Steve Carell's exit. Okay, so
okay, so it would have been so instead of like Will Ferrell, it would have been James
it
Gandolfini.
probably would have been better than Will Ferrell, but would have been better than James Spader.
I love Robert California. I didn't even watch The Office, but I have seen clips of Robert California, and I know he's not well liked, partially because he comes in after like Michael's exit, but I would have loved that.
Yeah.
Robert California is such a mess. Everything he says is a threat, and I love it.
Yeah, he's a pretty good, very well written character, and I don't think anyone else could have played him quite like James Spader. I think if they brought James Gandolfini to play Robert California, it wouldn't have played as good. It would have been a different thing. Yeah, they would have had to have made something completely different. Do you think they wrote Robert California for James Spader?
With the way a lot of sitcoms are, I wouldn't be surprised. Because you kind of shortcut the character creation with whatever the actor is doing.
That's true. They kind of sit into their own character, and then you start writing for that character. The character writes itself. Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think is...
For long-running ones, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why a lot of sitcom actors get sick of it. It's like, I'm not the character you think I am. I'm not.
Yep.
But also, you make so much money on a sitcom.
Oh yeah, even once
like
you get
talk
into
about job security. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. No. Seinfeld never has to work again a day in his life. He's still touring though. I'm actually going to go see him in November.
Ooh.
I'm going to. Let me just make sure that I'm not talking at my ass here. I'm pretty sure I got tickets because they made it. They had to make a second night for this. It's. I'm excited. It is. Where is it? Yes. It's Jerry Seinfeld and Jim Gaffigan.
Okay, that's a pretty good night.
It's gonna be good. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's at the United Center too, which is it's pretty big. It's,
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it's no Soldier Field, but it's pretty big. Also, it's in November, so not Soldier Field, but
Well, yeah.
yeah. The Bears may or may not be using it. I don't know if they're playing their next season. I guess they have to. The Bears will still be in Chicago. I don't think they've actually settled on moving. Or they have settled on moving, but I don't know if they've decided where to move.
Like moving cities or moving stadiums?
Moving to the suburbs.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they were eyeing Arlington Heights. I think they were looking at somewhere else. Naperville, maybe. And it's like...
yeah.
I mean, why?
It just feels so tied to Chicago. It feels wrong.
Yeah, and they'll still be called the Chicago Bears, but then now you have to go all the way out to, right? Soldier Field is nice because it's like right downtown. It's on the waterfront. It's what are they going to use it for now, right? Taylor Swift's not going to tour again for like 3 years, so what are they going to use it for?
Yeah, what does any stadium get used for when it's not being a stadium?
That's a fantastic question, especially the ones you can't close the top of.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
like you could concerts. Not many people can fill Soldier Field, but there are a lot of people who can. So there's that. But then when you get into like the non-entertainment aspects, right? Like Soldier Field is, I guess it's not super close to, but it's nearby the McCormick Convention Center. You can't use Soldier Field as a convention center because it's open.
Right.
So what do you use it for? I don't know.
Emergencies?
Maybe.
But again, it's open.
Yeah, it's open.
If you had to pick a like sitcom archetype to be stuck with for the next decade, what would you want to take?
As an actor?
Yeah.
Frasier seems fun.
Yeah.
Or really anyone from Frasier, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that would work.
You?
I would really want to play like the ex-girlfriend of someone. And for some reason my character is still around.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's what I would want.
Would you be the crazy ex-girlfriend? Like literally Rachel Bloom, crazy ex-girlfriend?
I could have fun with a character like that. There's enough going on with her that I would take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be. That would be pretty good. And I wonder if. I'm trying to think of like pervasive ex-girlfriend characters. There's Rose from 2.5 Men. She's more of a stalker, but. Yeah, she's more or less the main character.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have first wife energy that I could bring to things.
Okay.
I'm not who the character is still currently with.
Oh. Okay. So you would be. Okay, yeah.
The it is still the Frasier type.
Lilith.
Oh, what's her face? Yeah, Lilith.
Lilith. I think it's Lilith.
It's Lilith because that's Adam's first wife allegedly.
Adam.
Yeah, like the first Adam.
Oh.
Yeah, in certain traditions there's a Lilith.
Oh, you're like biblically. I'm like, who the
it's
hell is
biblically.
Adam? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, that's rather interesting.
It's in certain traditions where she's like cast out of the garden early because she demanded equality, and so she's called like the mother of all demons, and Eve is cool because Eve could be subjugated. That's how the tradition goes.
Hold up. There was only 2 when they started, right? There was Adam.
Yes.
And then there was Eve.
Yes.
And now there's this third one.
As the story goes, Lilith would have come before Eve. I don't know if Lilith was also made from Adam's rib or if Lilith was also made from dust.
So the implication is that was there anyone before Adam?
God.
Okay. So is Adam
Mm-hmm.
maybe Lilith?
Yes.
And then Eve for no reason?
Or
because Lilith went bad?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll try again. Mark 2.
Yeah.
That's... That's all new to me. I had no idea that was the
We're
lore.
going through it. We're going through what the kids would call a deconstruction. So we're back in it for different reasons.
That's Okay. Well,
yeah.
Glad it's not the other way around. Glad the implication is not Adam, Eve. Where did Lilith come from? And if they're, if they're married, where is Eve
those first
in
generations are a little incesty, but the DNA was fresh. It was new.
But it's Adam and Eve, and then first wife energy goes against the. I guess it's not premarital if you're never married.
Well, okay, so in Genesis 2, I think 2:24, it's and Adam knew his wife and knew it's like male and female. He created them, and they were man and wife or whatever, and so allegedly first marriage, if you read it in that way. And then
okay.
then there was Cain and Abel. And then Cain killed Abel, and then there was Seth.
Seth.
Yeah.
That's not like a mistranslation or something? It's just Seth?
No. Certain names from the Bible just like kept going, and other names we don't use anymore.
Cain. Abel.
Yeah.
Okay. Seth made it. Good job, Seth.
Seth made it.
Okay. Yeah.
The really popular names stuck around, so we still have like Isaac and Jacob and Joseph and all that, but
Adam
not
seems
a lot
to
of
be falling out of favor.
Which one?
Adam.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's not a bad name.
It's not, but I could also imagine now that it's like kind of tied to a vine that it could be falling out of favor, because otherwise every kid in the class or every parent to the kids in your kids' class are just going to go, Adam. There's no vape involved. There's no smoke, but just...
Oh, that one.
Adam.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love watching baby names rise and fall in favor.
Oh, like
watching
with
Daenerys and Khaleesi climb the charts only to instantly...
Oh, those kids are going to get beat up at school. You just know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I think you just got to start going by Katie. You got to start going just by Danielle. You just got to abandon those.
God, imagine being named Daenerys. Oh my God.
Always wait until the thing finishes. Wait until the person who made it is dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
For everyone's safety, wait till they're dead.
Agreed. Yeah,
and wait till everyone they knew is dead.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be caught with gotcha books revealing why they were a terrible person.
Yeah. I wonder what the graph for Adolf looks like.
Oh my gosh, it's gotta be
real sharp.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy might be onto something. Oh wow, he's actually doing what he said he would. Wait a minute. We're losing.
Well, because I have seen the like name chart for like girls' name popularity.
Mhm.
The funny one is for Hillary, because after Bill Clinton was elected president, the popularity for Hillary through the floor.
Mm-hmm.
No one
In more
was
ways than
naming their
one.
kids Hillary. Yeah.
Yeah. Names, the lady, in the president's eyes, all sorts of.
Yeah.
Oh man, poor Hillary.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's had a time.
Mm-hmm.
Womp
Just
womp.
chilling in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, is that where she is now?
I have no idea. That was just one of the vines she put out.
Oh,
The
God, she
precursor to
tried Vine.
Pokemon Go to the polls, yeah.
She tried too hard. That was the problem.
She did. It catches everyone because it happened to Howard Dean. I don't know if you've seen the video of just the politician. He's so excited. He just goes like, "Yeah!" And it is the loudest scream. It's like
yeah.
it's like they cut out every sound except for that. And it killed his career dead on impact. It was the please clap of whatever year it was.
I forgot about Please Clap. Oh my!
It's one of my favorites.
Why would he have done that? Why did he sell guacamole bowls? What was the man thinking?
His wife is Mexican, I believe. Like he's completely, well, I don't know, connecting to that demographic of voters. He's like, I'm married to a Mexican and I know how to make guacamole. Watch this, I can speak Spanish. Which, interestingly enough, on that like list of Republican primary candidates was kind of widespread. Like there were a few candidates who spoke Spanish fluently. Not that it helped any of them.
No.
Because they were still all wet cardboard, except for Ted Cruz. I don't know what it is about Ted Cruz. I can disagree with everything he does. But every time I see him, I'm like, that's Ted.
That's classic
Ted.
Yep.
Someone stopped him as he was leaving. I don't know if it was a movie theater or a restaurant or something, but they were just like, trying to do the whole reporter thing. And I want to say they were asking him about like Minions, maybe. They're like, hey, did you see Minions? What did you think of Minions? I'm like, good. That's the kind of like harassment I want people to do to Ted Cruz. It's just asking him what he thinks of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Stopping him, making it sound important, and being like, where on the Barbenheimer spectrum do you fall? The people deserve to know.
It's yeah. I mean that's a very important judge of character, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are saying Barbie is what I haven't. My sister is planning on seeing it though, and she's real jazzed because she's recently turned 17, and so she's real stoked that Oppenheimer could be her first rated R film.
That's a good one. Yeah.
What perfect casting though. Cillian Murphy looks the world like Robert Oppenheimer.
He's the same level of gaunt.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's stacked. I had no idea RDJ was in it. I had no idea. I mean, I knew Matt Damon was in it, but I didn't. I when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, interesting.
Emily Blunt is in it, and she's great.
Josh fucking Peck is in it.
Yeah.
Why?
Is it Benny Safdie?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen them yet?
I'm going Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm doing Oppenheimer first in IMAX.
Oh.
IMAX digital, but
Even so, how close to the screen are you sitting?
Middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite heat map of an Oppenheimer viewing was someone who was dead center, front row.
Ooh.
And I'm like, oh, you want to be in New Mexico.
Yeah. The heat radiating from the screen is going to cook you. Yeah.
You're going to come out of that movie with a tan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're unfortunately, only 30 actual projection IMAX houses in the country. So, yeah, most of them are digital. But that's fine because my vision's not that great anyway. So I will see it, that's fine.
Pretty good. Yeah.
And then I'll see Barbie afterward. I wanted to do a triple feature with Mission Impossible 7. But I couldn't swing it. I couldn't get the schedules to line up, unfortunately.
Mission Barbenheimer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, they kicked Mission Impossible out of IMAX. I didn't know they filmed those in IMAX. Either that or they upscale it to, like, film.
I think
and
I just
edit in
assumed
8K.
they were gonna still be in IMAX.
I had no idea, but
I think the one Mission Impossible movie I've seen in theaters was IMAX.
Maybe. Yeah.
It was not Ghost Protocol, but
Rogue
one
Nation.
before.
The one
No.
before Ghost Protocol was I should know. I just recently saw all of them. It was 1, 2, 3. Ghost Protocol,
Oh,
Rogue
Fallout.
Nation, Fallout is the 6th one.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I've seen Fallout. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
3, I think, is still the best.
And 2 is the worst.
It's just, man, I miss Philip Seymour Hoffman, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Every time I see him and hear him, I am just comforted by his presence. Even when he's playing characters like he did in Mission Impossible 3, I'm just like, this is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing him and being near his performance, that, oh my gosh. I think I want his career, actually. Like, to be just a flawless character actor in every, like, no performance was the same, and every performance he gave something to. Like, even Along Came Polly, which I'm not a fan of, he is the best part of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's great in The Big Lebowski. He is so good in Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I still need to see Schenectady, New York.
Ah,
I
that one's
need to
that
see
one's a
that
big
movie.
one.
Yeah.
That one's definitely like a movie person's movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So maybe someday. It's just, again, we've said it millions of times, just sitting down and watch a movie. They're so long. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I can have a movie on in the background and, watch it. That's how I watched the first 6 Mission Impossibles. But I don't have to like actually give it all of my intention to appreciate it, right? Like, it's not built for that, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't do that to Schenectady, New York, or
No.
Barbie, or Oppenheimer, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could probably do it with Fast and the Furious. I finally learned what all of those movies are titled.
Oh, it's so confusing.
The fact that there's the Fast and the Furious, which is different from Fast and Furious. Who let them do that?
I think it was a copyright issue. I think they couldn't name it that, so they had to name it something else. And I got like halfway through that movie thinking it was the first one.
Oh yeah. I've watched movie commentators fall into that exact same trap where they watched Fast and Furious. But like, when you reach Fast and Furious point, why are you? I wouldn't be surprised if no one bothered to check.
Yeah. Yeah. What an unfortunate.
Like, how did that movie make any money without people being like, we saw this already.
Mm-hmm.
We saw this 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a little bit of a little bit of an oopsie there.
I had never seen any of the movies, but we saw a trailer for Fast 10 before, I think, John Wick 4.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Or Spider-Verse or something like that. And I had to like bite my shirt to keep from laughing out loud because the trailer was everything I was told the movies were, but I wasn't prepared to hear it in person.
Yeah. Yeah, they are movies.
Yeah. Jason Momoa looked like he was having a lot of fun in Fast 10 though.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really take yourself seriously by that point.
You can't.
Yeah. Of all of the movies they are 10 of them.
Movies.
Yeah. 11 if you count Calvin and Hobbes, which I think is a spin-off. Not Calvin and Hobbes, that's a comic, but the...
I was about to say, wait, they named it that.
No, it's something in Hobbes. Hobbes and Shaw.
Hobbes and Shaw, yeah.
I think those are those are from that universe. The Fast cinematic universe. Not fast enough.
No, because I think Fast 10 is still like a part 1.
Why?
Because it makes money, which is what we do thanks to our sponsor.
Well, yes. You would think, right? Our sponsor today is we are sponsored today by the letter R, as in Ray. I need your payment to read this sponsor segment. It's a really long sponsor segment. I need your payment. You still owe me $500, right? So we're sponsored by the letter R today, and we're also sponsored by the letter F, which is what you'll be, Ray, if you don't send me my $500 to read the sponsor segment, which again, so expertly crafted. It's actually really funny. I wish I could read it, but I do not have I don't have the moolah that I was promised to read it. It's like a 3-minute sponsor segment, and you know, we pride ourselves here. So as we've been going, we've been upping the rate. So yeah, Ray, if you could go ahead and like Venmo me or something, that $500. We'll be cool. We'll be cool. So, unfortunately, no. I mean, sponsor, yes. Money, no.
Money,
so,
no.
No free lunch, Ray. No free lunch.
Nope. You think podcasts like this just happen because we like talking to each other? No.
Right.
Every time we do this, one of us has to fly to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They owe us money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just happen to be in separate rooms at the same place that always look the same every time.
Right, so it's the acoustics, it's the recording booth.
Yeah.
It's an artificial background.
Yeah, the motion blur looks great. I mean, there's green behind me. Yeah.
Double green screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what happens if you green screen in a green screen?
Maybe we'll find out if Ray sends us $500.
Get on it, Ray.
But this has been another episode of Steaming Pile with Lauren and Tucker. I have been Lauren.
And I have been Tucker.
And we will see you all next time.